Hello, and a very warm welcome to another of my podcasts. I haven't been on here for a while, but I hope you're well. However, I think why I've come on here today is because I suspect that a lot of you are not feeling that great since the announcement that there was a new and potentially much more dangerous variant of COVID came out last week. I have noticed a real change in mood in some people, and I feel that it's very tough for a lot of you, particularly if you're on your own. I suppose we felt we were towards the tail end of everything, and we still indeed may be. But now this has thrown the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it, to some extent? And we feel that some of the stuff that we were taking for granted and really want to do might not open up as quickly as we'd anticipated. And I think in a lot of people's minds, their worry is about Christmas, particularly if they had decided to do something slightly more exotic this year, having not been able to do anything last year. So it is difficult because we're dealing with a whole wide range of emotions that might, I suppose, range from a little bit of mild worry in some people to total anxiety in others, a lot of despair, hopelessness, a sense of this never ending, irritation perhaps, and anger even at how things are being handled. And none of these feelings are easy to be comfortable with, and for people that were just beginning to sleep a little bit better and feel a bit more normal, has come at a bad time. One can only say, however, that it's probably very much worse in some parts of the world than here, and that we are considerably luckier than most countries because of the science here and our very good vaccination programs. But how are you going to deal with these emotions, particularly because it's the wrong end of the year for doing so many things? Some days it hardly seems to get light at all. And if you're older, like I am, I think there is a tendency to feel I might run out of time. I might never be able to do the things I want to do again. I might never be able to travel to Siberia or whatever it is you want to do. Um, it's easy to be alarmist in that way, but I think we should try and rationalize those thoughts and just think, well, in a few months, probably this is all going to be completely different again. I do believe actually it's even harder for younger people, and we should remember that because so many younger people are bursting to get out there and give their talent to the world and get a new job or travel or whatever, and they too must feel very much that their life is on hold. So I think we have to rationalize our feelings. I think we also have to make some sense, as we have been struggling to do since about March 2020. We have to try and make sense of what's happening insofar as if we can find a sense of purpose for the next couple of months or so, and something that will perhaps divert us from our emotions that are troubling, then it won't seem so bad. Now, I do know that we've had to reach deep into ourselves for our resources, and kind of remember we are the expert on ourselves and come up with strategies whereby we can cope with stuff. Well, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to do it again. So what can you come up with? I mean, in my case, I tend to give myself projects. I think, well, I haven't cleaned out all of that in this house, or I haven't, or perhaps I could learn a new piece of music on the piano. That would make some sense of it. Perhaps I could get on with my novel. We all have things that we really have a burning desire to do, and if we are going to be curtailed a bit, I think that's what we should do. I also believe that suppose your plans for Christmas and maybe you were going to see somebody the other side of the world or something are not going to come to fruition. Well, do now start thinking about your alternative Christmas. Who else could you see? Or if you are going to end up alone, which some of us may do, um, certainly have a whole program scheduled of Zoom calls. I know we've had to do this before, but it's far better than just dwelling on how miserable we are and staying home alone and not talking to anybody. So get some things in place. get some forward planning in place for holidays in the spring or the summer, when doubtless we will be freer to travel again. And also, um, maybe step up just what we are allowed to do. You know, we can go, at the moment, we can go to the concerts and cinemas and sporting events, see any number of friends we want in our house, all of that. At the moment, we can do it. And maybe we're not doing as much of what we are actually allowed to do. And this would be a good time to counter our feelings of being discomforted by this. I think to just do as much as we possibly can. So see as many people as you can, share things with people, maybe watch some comedy, laugh. We can get through this. We've done it before. We'll hopefully won't have to keep doing it, but there are always things that we can do. We can reach inside ourselves and we can come up with some ways of getting through the hard times. I wish you well through the next few weeks as we learn to deal with this, and I will see you soon.